Guys, I hope all is well in the world with you guys. This is Jessica Blackbird. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, thank you for visiting, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So you guys, 50 Cent is pretty famous. You know, he's a super uber famous guy. He has these television shows that I have not seen yet. Don't take my black card from me, please. But he and his son have had issues for years now, and his son is back in the news. Well, both of them are back in the news. So there was an article that came out today from Hip Hop DX, and let me read it to you because it kind of pisses me off a little bit that his son feels so entitled to his father's money. 50 Cent's relationship with his oldest son, Marquise Jackson, isn't the best, and fans got another look into their drama recently. The G-Unit rapper was once again dragged by his son when Marquise hopped on Instagram Live with entrepreneur and former rapper Choke No Joke to vent his frustrations with his father and his child support payments. According to the younger Jackson, the $6,700 a month he received from 50 wasn't enough to maintain the lifestyle he claimed he needed in New York City. I'm going to reserve my opinion for the end, but I'm just ready to okay, let me get through this. $6,700 a month in the state of New York City. You do the math. Marquise told Choke, who said he's familiar with the numbers as he went to jail over child support payments himself. You're talking about a Forbes lister. You're talking about someone that has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood. So he's saying his father has issues with so many people. By extension, he's also in danger because he's his father's son. Therefore, he needs to live in a more secure neighborhood. $81,000 is not a substantial amount of money. You can't just live anywhere. You're talking about you got beef with everybody in the industry. You can't just live anywhere. Choke responded by telling Marquise if his dad is putting up $6,700 per month in child support payments, then his mother, Shaniqua Tompkins, must have the other half, making the total monthly child support sum $13,400. Choke argued Tompkins should be responsible for looking after her son also, but Marquise continued to claim the money wasn't sufficient. If I told you right now, you got to start your life over right now with $6,700 a month and rebuild your life, can you do it? Marquise asked, to which Choke wasted no time saying he could. Choke, you got to stop comparing it. You're comparing it to yourself, bro. You're comparing it to your standard of lifestyle. You can't do that. Marquise added, I know what it feels like to have nothing, all right? I had to rebuild my life over with $6,700 a month, $81,000 a year. Whoo, child. Let me finish. Let me get through it. 50 Cent completed his child support payments back in 2017 and celebrated the moment on social media. However, Marquise Jackson didn't take his father's reaction too well and clapped back at 50 for trying to make a mockery out of the situation. The drama between 50 Cent and his son reportedly stems from the rapper's split from Tompkins. In 2020, 50 spoke about his family drama during an Instagram Live interview with Van Lathan, in which he said Tompkins' beef with him was inherited by his son. Okay. It is sad. It's a sad situation, 50 said. When you pray for success, you don't necessarily pray for the things that come with it. It's no such thing as success without jealousy, without envy, or entitlement. His mom developed an entitlement that cannot be met, filtering that energy through his actual personal interests. When asked whether there was any type of love still there for his son, even at a distance, 50 admitted there wasn't. I used to, he said. I didn't think that success would cost me my firstborn, but it's the situation it is. My grandfather used to say, if it rattles like a snake and slithers like a snake, is it a snake or do you need to be bit? What he keeps saying is every time you see the boy, he shows up with somebody you got a problem with. What does that tell you? Years earlier, Marquise Jackson posed for a picture with Supreme McGriff Jr., the son of Kenneth Supreme McGriff, who had problems with 50 Cent back in the day. The photo circulated on social media in 2018, and once 50 saw it, he publicly disowned his firstborn. If both these little niggas got hit by a bus, I wouldn't have a bad day, he wrote under a repost of the picture at the time. So let me go back to this, you guys. I'm finished with the article, but the photo that his son took with Supreme McGriff Jr., 50 Cent wholeheartedly believes that the father of this guy that his son took a picture with, Kenneth Supreme McGriff, is the one who tried to take 50's life when he was, when he got that lead pumped into him several times. He really, really believes that it was Supreme McGriff, Kenneth Supreme McGriff. And then his son takes a picture with the son of the man he believes tried to take his life. And they post it and it goes wild across the internet. And that really pissed 50 off. It really did. I listened to him speak about the rift between he and his oldest son, Marquise. I listened to that this morning. 50, in his own words, in his own voice, he spoke about that photo. And then he talked about his son, the mother of his son would call very often, several times. I don't know if it was a month, but he would give his son a pair of sneakers. And then if another pair would come out, the kid would want it, the mother would call. And then all the new sneakers were not enough. This is all according to 50. I'm not making this up on my own. He says the kid wanted all the retro sneakers after that. So what he did, he wanted to set his child up for success. So he saw this sneaker store was going out of sale. And he went in there and he asked the guy about, how much did he pay for the sneakers? And then how much did he add on the back end to recoup his money? The guy told him $40 a pair, and then he sells them for $80 a pair. And 50 says, what are you going to do with all of this? Put it in storage, the guy says, until I figure out what to do with it. Because of where his store was, he was not getting a lot of people just walking in and buying his product. So 50 offered to buy all of his inventory at once. And the man agreed. So what he did was he bought all of the sneakers and he set up a storage for his son with hundreds of pairs of sneakers. And he tells his son, this can be a career starter, a future for you where you can make your own money and have a business to fall back on. So he was setting him up for success. And he says, but instead of having a brick and mortar store, you can do online direct to the customer. That was smart because it cuts out all of the extra costs. And he also told him we can hire someone to manage the warehouse. So he set up all of this for his son. So months and months went by. He didn't hear anything back. Everything was set up. Then the mother calls and says, or was it the mother or the son? One of them said, I think the son called and said he and his mom wanted to start a boutique. What young man do you know that wants to start a boutique? Okay. So listening to what 50 was saying this morning about all of this, I agree with him that the mother, kids always, not always, but usually side with their mothers. And if his mother says, we need a boutique, in my opinion, he probably would say, okay. Who doesn't want to make their mom happy? But a mother should not use their child at the detriment of the child to enrich themselves. And that's just my opinion. That's how I saw it. So the other thing that happened, before I go on, I do not think that 50 Cent should have disowned his son. I think that he can put him on a long, long, long leash at the end of a super long stick and make him work his way back in, work the trust back into the relationship. Because if you think somebody tried to kill you and your son is going to go hug up and take a picture with that family, then yeah, that is a major slap in the face, in my opinion. So another thing that this young man, if $6,700 was not enough in the state of New York, $81,000 a year, you guys, there are people who don't make half of that a year. So if it wasn't good enough for living in New York City, whatever, guess what? You move your ass to a place where this is enough. And lots of times you will see kids, it doesn't matter if your parents are not rich. A lot of times kids who don't live in the same household with the father, their mothers put all kinds of shit into their heads and they begin to see the father as a damn paycheck. I've seen that with my own two eyes. My second husband that I'm married to, that is exactly how his grown children treated him. And it just seriously pisses me off. And the thing about it is $6,700 a month. You can go to a lot of places in the United States, $81,000 a year, and that will be sufficient enough, and you'll have extra. Like, come to the Deep South. Now, don't go to Mississippi or Alabama, as a Black person. I'm just giving my opinion, you guys. But I think this boy, who is 25 years old now, is entitled. As his father said, he's very entitled. He needs to get a goddamn job. At the time that he turned 18, he should have been working and not with his hand out to his father. And also, Choke No Joke was correct. The mother is also responsible for financially taking care of the child too. And I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of women angry because I am not a mother. But there are women who work so damn hard to provide for their children along with the child support that they get. And there are others who have their hands out and they actually think, okay, I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to get this much, that much. They're planning and plotting. So once that child support is over and they're not getting it anymore for that now 18 or 21-year-old kid, depending on where you live, what are you going to do? Now, this 25-year-old is still feeling entitled to his father's money, in my opinion, from what I'm reading. So she seriously, in my opinion, again, effed him up. Now, his father doesn't want to have a damn thing to do with him. So what are you going to do now, young man? You're going to have to get your ass out there and make a living. Money doesn't come easy. Even as rich as his father is, he had to work hard to get what he has. So anyway, I can't remember where I stopped and I don't feel like going back to listen, but because someone started calling me and I forgot to turn my ringer off. But long story short, you guys, teach your children how to work, even from little, because when I was a little kid, I learned how to scramble eggs by the time I was 5 years old. I was taught by older cousin and my grandmother. I learned how to mop the floor and go back and rinse the floor and go back and dry it by the time I was 8. And by the time I was 12, now this was in the 80s, late 80s, I was babysitting my little brother and I knew how to cook a few good meals. Kids these days, they sit in front of the damn television. They sit in front of the computer. They sit in front of a tablet. They have a cell phone in their hands and they're not learning shit about responsibility. Get them off of TikTok and all of the other social media apps. YouTube, there's a whole section for little kids, but you still have to monitor what the hell they're watching because some things pass under the radar that are not good. We have to take back control and teach kids like our mothers and fathers and our grandparents and great grandparents that hard work never killed anyone. So although I don't think that 50 should completely cut his son off from out of his life, that has to be very, very sad. I do think that he should not give him a damn penny more. He should be out there working. I don't know if he's working or not, but if he isn't, he should be. And if he is, work harder, save your money, and stop the damn complaining. It just pisses me off, you guys, because we learned how to work for what the hell we wanted. And now everybody's sitting around with a damn handout. Your parents don't owe you a damn thing after you're 18. If they want to help you out, they can. But sometimes if you keep giving and giving and giving, they never learn to support themselves. Go read on the internet how many rich kids took the lives of their parents to get their inheritance and then ended up in prison being stupid. Yeah, this really has my blood boiling, you guys. His son looks just like him. But in my opinion, he's not like him because 50 had to claw and climb out of the gutter to get where he is. And he didn't just lay all of his eggs in one basket in the music industry. Now, his father tried to help him get a career started. And like 50 said, I forgot the names of the online sneaker shops, but they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. And if his son had only done what he set him up to do, he wouldn't have a handout to anyone. Let me know what your thoughts are. And let's be respectful in the comments. Don't come at me, ripping my head off for my opinion. We all have opinions, you guys. Let's talk about them in the comments. I'll see you there.